This is Dashrad and I'm the .NET trainer. So, overall I have 6+ years of experience in completing Microsoft .NET, and right now I'm working as a team lead in Gap India Technologies. And apart from that, this is the way, in the mornings and in the evenings I used to train the different project people, and as well as the training who want to learn .NET, right? Yeah. So this is about my background, like what I do regular. So apart from this, I want to know, like what actually you are looking for .NET. I mean, what actually you are looking in .NET, or like why you are looking for .NET only. So that's what the main I want to answer.
It's just for getting projects based in the U.S. This is the only reason.
Yeah. So fine. So you should have it. I mean, like you want to be a .NET programmer?
Yes.
Yes. You are a .NET programmer, right?
Yeah. To be able to use the .NET framework and to be a .NET programmer, correct?
Okay, fine. So do you have any other programming background, like, did you ever work for any programming languages?
I studied programming like a long time ago at school, but never used it.
Yeah, that's what, so because theoretical knowledge is different, and the way you implement it into the practical is completely different.
Yeah, I studied C++ in the past, way in the past. Maybe 10 years ago. I studied C++ and I studied Java, not Java, sorry, SQL, but long time ago.
So probably you might have to learn a new latest technologies and just concepts in the programming also.
Correct. I need concepts. No concepts at all.
Yeah, that's right. So we need to learn again from scratch.
Correct.
Right? Yeah. Fine. So here basically, yeah. So here, whenever you are going for any new technology, whatever it might be, now you are for .NET. So in future, after like 1 year or 2 years, so you want to go with Java. So whatever it is. So first of all, whenever you are going for any new technology, so you should be, should have a good overview on the technology. Like suppose now you came for .NET. So whenever you came for the .NET, so you should have some questions in your mind, right? So what is this .NET? What is .NET? And who developed this .NET? Or else I can say who is the owner of the .NET? Who developed this .NET? And when it was released actually? So this should be your first question in your mind. So yeah, fine. So if you know the answer, then it's fine. If you don't know also, let me make it, no problem. The second concept is that, like, whenever you are going for any new programming, so first you need to check whether it is a platform independent or not. That means if you came for .NET, you have to think, is .NET a platform independent or fine. So you have to know that what is platform independent, what is dependent, right? Then okay, suppose like if I learn .NET, what kind of applications I can develop? That should be the third question. What kind of applications we can develop? So what kind of projects you can develop if you learn .NET? Right? Fourth question. So what are the softwares I require? And is it an open source or not? Or do I need to pay the license to somebody? So if I want to pay the license, so how much cost it will be? Right? So that is called and fifth question. So okay, like how much time it will take to learn .NET? Or what are the concepts the instructor is going to be covered in this curriculum? Or how many hours it will take to learn .NET? And what kind of projects, or like what kind of real-time scenarios he want to catch. That is called like the time. You can say time, fifth one. Right? And sixth one. So what is the difference between this technology and a similar kind of technology? Like suppose you came for .NET. So whatever the applications you developed by using .NET, so developed by using Java also. So somebody will ask you, so why you have .NET? So why not Java? So you should be able to give some meaningful information or meaningful differences between the Java and .NET. That's it. Okay. So you should know the differences, or you should know what are the competitors for this technology. Competitors and differences. Right? So these are the basic questions, and these are the basic information what you need to have before joining in any course, whatever it is, or before you want to learn any course, you should get all these answers. Then only you will have overall outline of the course, and then you can easily grasp that technology, right? Yeah. So let us come one by one. So do you have any idea like what is .NET, or like who is the owner and when it was released?
I think it's .NET is something like a framework that it could just use for multiple languages like C#, like ASP.NET and SQL. And the owner is Microsoft. What is it released? It was released 2002. Is .NET independent? It's independent for sure. And what kind of application we can develop? We can develop mobile application and website application. What other software is required? I don't know. And the competitors, I don't know about the competitors as well.
Yeah. So here one thing is fine about your answer. Like so here, so there is a lot of questions. Whatever the answer you have given, so there is question. I have a lot of questions. Like so you told me like .NET is a framework. Then again, like suppose if there is no like yes, you give the answer like .NET is a framework. .NET is something like it's a collection of different libraries. So then again you will ask what is a framework, again library. So if you give an answer to .NET developer, then he is that space. But if you are giving an answer to the new or unknown person of regarding .NET, then again they have different confusion. So fine. So let me give a meaningful answer. So .NET. It's a network enabled technology. It's a network enabled technology. Why Microsoft they named this as a network enabled technology? What is the reason behind that? Right? So yeah, .NET is it's a Microsoft product, and it started or it was released in the year of 2000 in US and 2002 in India, 2001 in India. So it is just a 15 years old product. Right? So .NET is a network enabled technology. So why they named this as a network enabled technology, and the reason behind that is that like suppose if you develop any application, so we have different type of networks: LAN, MAN, WAN, different networks. I think you have an idea. So local area network, LAN, local area in the sense like within the organization or within the company. If I want to connect 100 systems or 20 systems or 30, then we use LAN connection, local area network. That means if I want to share any information among those computers, I can use LAN connection. So then MAN, metropolitan. Suppose there is a city, I want to share the information only for that particular city. Right? Then we use MAN. That means metropolitan area network, like it's exactly our cable network for the TV. Cable network for the TV. So what I need to do is, if I want to take the cable connection from a TV, I should go to the nearest cable operator, because he is the one who will give a signal to that particular area. So the similar way, if you want to share the information the particular area, then we call it as metropolitan area network. Wide area network. Wide area in the sense like it's like internet. Suppose now you are in different location, I am in a different location, and we are in different location, but we are able to communicate and we are able to transfer our messages and everything. So that is because of WAN. That is wide area network. Like this, we have different kind of networks generally in our software. So whatever the application you developed by using .NET, that should work on all the networks. Otherwise, people won't use. Suppose if your application is working only on WAN network, then all the people cannot use that. That's why. So whatever the application you develop, that should be compatible for all the networks, and it will work fine in all the networks if you develop that application in .NET. So that's why they named this as a network-enabled technology. Okay. So any doubts? Fine. So is .NET a platform independent or not? What does it mean? So what is this platform first? Whether it is independent or dependent, that is secondary. So what is this platform first? A platform is nothing but it is a combination of a CPU plus the operating system. So what, suppose if you develop any application by using .NET, let us say you developed a simple calculator application. Simple calculator. Right? So my question is that, can I run that application in any CPU? There is nothing but any system configuration. Like even like very low system configuration, like 125 or 128 RAM, like 10 GB hard disk, a very low system configuration. So can I run that? Hello?
I don't think so.
That means here running in the sense like as you are running in the very low configuration, it may run slowly, but whether it is running or not, that is important. Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Then operating system. Can I run application in all the operating system? Windows 7, XP, Linux, Ubuntu, Mac, everything.
Yes.
Right? So my question is, if you are able to run the application, if you are able to run the application in any CPU and any OS, then I can say it as platform independent.
Okay.
Suppose if you are able to work on only one CPU, there's nothing but, suppose let us say if you go for any SAP applications, so it should, if you want to install SAP, you should have at least 4 GB RAM, 500 GB hard disk, i3 processor, minimum there's a requirement. So if you don't have that requirement, then it won't install. Software itself it won't install. So that's why if you are able to work on only one CPU, that means only one system configuration and one OS, like so only Windows 7 or only Windows 8, then I can say platform dependent. It is dependent to that. Right? So now tell me, based on these two, so do you think independent or dependent?
It is independent.
That means can I run .NET application in any operating system? Any CPU?
No, I can. I can run it in any CPU, in any operating system.
Then how can you say it's an independent?
If you are able to run the application in any CPU and any others. You said if we can run the .NET in any CPU or in any operating system, then it is independent.
Yeah, that's what. So do you think like, can I run it in any CPU in any operating system?
Yes.
Can I run in Unix, Mac?
Microsoft has to be Microsoft.
No, so that's what. So it's not like I'm not asking about is it running on the Microsoft operating systems or not. I'm running overall all the operating systems.
Yeah,
So that's why here it's not fully dependent. It's dependent in the sense you should work on only one operating system. That's what I have written. Only one OS. But my .NET is all applications are working on Windows 7, Windows 8, Windows XP, everywhere. Right? That's why .NET is partially independent. Because it's not fully dependent, it's not fully independent. Right? So because .NET has problem with Unix and Mac.
Okay.
Right? That's why it is partially independent. Right? Fine. So that's why you have to learn. So because can I suppose if you get a software, can I install in all the operating systems? Because most of the people what they do is they have a laptop of Mac operating system or Linux operating system, and they are trying to install the .NET software and they are trying to run the .NET applications. So obviously it won't run. Right? Yeah. So if you learn .NET, so what kind of applications you can develop? So if you learn .NET, so you can develop a console-based application, you can develop a Windows-based application, you can develop a web-based application, you can develop a mobile-based application also. So if you are the .NET programmer or if you want to develop any project in .NET, so you have an option called console, Windows, web and mobile. It's your choice. Or if you get a job in .NET, so they may give any task between a console or a Windows or a web or mobile. Any task out of all these.
Okay.
So how can you say, like suppose if I gave an application to you, and how can you say that like whether it's a console or a Windows or a web? How can you say?
Depends on the interface. If it's a console, I will see that black screen, or with the Windows, it's going to be Windows. If it's web, maybe HTML or XML. It depends on the interface.
Yeah, so yeah, you are right. Console means it's a command prompt application. Windows is nothing but the executable application of the PC, like Skype. Skype is a Windows-based application which is going to be installed in your PC, right? Then web applications are nothing but those are the browser-based applications which will run on the browser directly, like Gmail, Facebook, Twitter, all this, right? So the mobile application, will work on the small devices, right? So most of the time, like if you want to develop a mobile application, most of the people will go for Android because it's an open source and we have a more scalable and more, like performance, like Android-based applications. So if you learn .NET, so these are the applications what you can develop. So what are the softwares I require to work with .NET? So you might have already know this concept. Like if you want to work with the .NET, so you should have a Visual Studio.
Visual Studio.
Yeah. So the latest version you can download 2013 Professional or Ultimate. Second one is SQL Server. 2008, or sorry, better you can download 2002. That's not the problem. You can install it. So if you have these two softwares, you can start working with .NET. So if you are learning .NET or if you want to practice .NET, you have a trial version, you can download and you can practice. But if you are developing a project, so you should have the licensed software. So it's an offense like developing a project in the trial version. Or if you really try to develop a project in the trial version also, you won't get 100% features like as you have in the licensed one. Right?
Okay.
So that's based on your requirement. If you want to develop like, if you want to practice or if you want to develop small scale, then go for trial. So if you are giving that to the client and like it's a commercial based application, so you need to have the license one.
Okay.
Yeah. So how much time it will take to learn .NET. So this is a very important one for everyone, like, because the time might be different from the trend, like how they teach and what the concepts they cover. That is different, and the time might be different from the grasping power of the student. Like, where is he and what kind of background he has. Is he able to grasp all the programming concepts or not? That might be different. So yeah. So basically, this .NET is divided into two types. One is basic .NET. Second one is advanced .NET. This videos, if you can hear me, then I think it's better. Yeah. So here we have two options. One is basic .NET and second one is advanced .NET. So in the basic .NET, so basic .NET is those people who are going for entry level. So this is for entry level jobs or for entry level knowledge. Advanced .NET is for those people who want to be a master or who want to be an experienced.
Okay.
So in the basic .NET, so we are going to cover, or I am going to cover, the concepts called C#, Windows, SQL Server, Radio.NET, ASP.NET, XML, and web services. So these are the concepts what we are going to cover in the basic .NET. So it will take 40 hours. Completely it will take 40 hours, and my way of training is completely the scenarios like which we really face in the real time. So that, like, I will share all my experience, like what kind of examples you have to do and what kind of concepts you need to learn more, or where you need to stress more, and where you can take, what are the topics which are very important in the development area. So that kind of things I'm going to cover in this 40 hours of curriculum, and daily I'm going to give you some assignments where you need to finish it out. You need to come back to me. So this is the basic.
Okay.
Once if you are okay with the basic and if you are good at basic, then you can go for an advanced.
And you said the basic is 40 hours?
So in the advanced, yeah, so till this is basic. Web services till this is basic. So in the advanced .NET, Ajax, JavaScript, jQuery, then WPF, WCF, DINQ, Entity Framework, and MVC. So these are the 8 topics which I am going to cover, which are the very latest one, and it will take about 40 hours to finish it up. Right? So both, if you want to learn full-fledged .NET, so you should be able to sit at least 8 hours with me. So that means you need to practice it for 8 to 3. That is nothing but 240 hours of practice you require. So that's why if you can do that practice, then hello?
I missed that. How many hours?
Yeah, 80 hours completely. Both basic is 40 and advanced is 40. Both 80 hours of training, and the practice, at least you need to sit for daily 3 hours for the practice purpose. Right? So that you need to schedule your you need to schedule the time of yours daily for 3 hours for that.
Sure. Okay, that's good. Thank you so much for your flexibility and for your understanding.
Yeah, thanks.